Greetings, all new Hammer, middle Hammer, and old Hammer folks. I am Old Grumpy Wolf, and welcome to the Mini Bar Podcast. I'll be serving you up lots of painting nerdiness, talking to other artists from around the web. But before we get started, I want to do my normal shout out to thebaselayer.com. Thebaselayer.com is a social media site for miniatures specifically. There's no weird things from Temu here. There's no pictures of other kids or dogs or anything like that. There's just all miniatures all the time. You can like, you can follow, you can leave comments, and yeah, as of recording this, they finally integrated their new notification system. But yeah, go check out thebaselayer.com and start sharing your miniatures today. I want to welcome someone to the show that I've been following, I think, for the last 2 years on Instagram. I found him via the Olden Demon competition that I do sometimes. It's an annual competition for us old folk who like to paint old miniatures. But I would like to welcome to the show. I don't know if it's, I don't know how to say it. It's Manic WIP.
Yeah, Manic WP. That the worst name. It was like a AI chat GBT. What can I call myself?
Oh, okay.
So it was Manic Warhammer Painter.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you wanted to come up with
Painter.
something a little different, just do Manic WIP.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I should maybe change it. So I'm trying to. Maybe I might change it to MWP, but yeah, for now I'm kind of stuck with it, unfortunately.
Well, at least I know what the WP stands for. It's Warhammer Painter.
Yeah. So that's it.
So to kind of get the show
as simple
going,
as that. Yeah.
Whereabouts in the world are you?
Scotland.
Oh, okay.
North of Scotland here. So I will try my best to speak my best English.
Oh, dude, you're fine, man. I've talked to people from all the world. You're good.
Cheers, man. I'm trying my best. Born
and raised over there, or?
Yeah. Born and raised. Yeah, haven't left.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, I'm a lifer here in Las Vegas, so I was born and raised
kids
here.
now, so. Yeah, I think you win that battle there. I think LA trumps Scotland.
I don't know. My mom's British. She lives over in England right now. She's moving back this spring, but I've gone to England before, but I always wanted to check out Scotland and check out Ireland. Yeah,
it's a lovely place. I've been to Ireland a couple of times, but yeah, very similar, but nice. Yeah.
If I go to Ireland, I'll wind up at the Jameson distillery.
Yeah, man. That's the way you go.
Because you go to Ireland, you gotta visit the Jameson distillery. And the cool thing is, like over in Europe, you actually have like a load of Jamesons we don't have here.
Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Being Scottish. You think I would be a better whiskey drinker, but it's really not my thing.
You're a beer guy?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, I mean I can drink, but I try not to.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just because I can. It's normally just a sickness that gets me. It's the hangovers. So, clear spirits now.
Oh, okay.
Trying to stay off the beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of my friends work in distilleries because obviously Speyside, we're quite close to all that kind of stuff. So
the thing that bugs me about getting older, man, I can't drink it like I used to. Like with Fridays and Saturdays, that's the only time like my gal and I drink. Sunday through like half a Friday, I'm sober as can be.
Yeah, that's the way to go, man. It's just, it's tough.
I miss the days of like going out and drinking all night when you're younger, and like, especially in your 20s, you got drinking, like just slamming all night, get 4 hours of sleep, wake up the next day, zero hangover. You're like, let's go. And 40 now is like, do that. And you're just like, no, I'm done for 2 days.
No, I mean, at one time I was out locally and I had not a lot of beers, like 3 or 4, and I was bedded for about 14 hours. That's like, what is going on? Just cannot cope.
Getting old, Spine. So to roll into the questions for the show, what got you into miniature painting?
Well, it's been fairly recently. It's only been the last couple of years that I've kind of got into it. It's funny because I was listening back to a lot of your podcasts.
Oh, okay.
Some of the guys, it's always like a mad uncle or a friend kind of gets them into it. Or not a mad uncle, just an uncle that's kind of into it. And because in the northeast of Scotland, there wasn't really a Warhammer scene.
Really?
Yeah, not like where I was. We had one like independent toy store.
Oh hell, man! I thought that'd be all over the United Kingdom.
No, it was quite niche. still, yeah, there wasn't really. I mean, I didn't even know it was really a game. It was just some kind of models that you painted. So I did have. I think I had an Elder jet bike that I painted once when I was a kid. I can't really remember the bike, but I can remember how crusty the paint was and how thick it was. And that would have annoyed me. I think I would have liked to buy it and then make it look like the box art, and then have been bitterly disappointed. So yeah, I knew about it, but it never really landed for me as a kid. Maybe about 11 or 12, maybe picked up maybe a bit younger. And then, as the usual story goes, you kind of hit teenage and your priorities change, and it starts, sports and girls and going out with friends. And then it just, it came and went as quick as that. And then 20 years later, and I'm too fat to run, so sports out the question. Music sounds the same. My wife hates it when I try to chase other women, so that's definitely out of the picture. And yeah, and then you hardly see your friends anymore because they've got wife and kids and commitments. And I think I wasn't actively looking for a hobby, but you kind of get into a place where it's easy to come home after a hard day and just veg in front of the TV or doom scroll. And for a while, that was kind of combated with video games. And every now and again, there would be an open world one, and I'd give that a go, or my son would get me onto Fortnite, and I'd be stuck with that, shouting at kids online. And then it was Space Marine 2 that kind of brought me back. And just the juxtaposition from where I kind of left it briefly when I was a kid to where, the more mature, kind of grim, dark, adult-based content that it seemed to be now. And then you go into YouTube and, the algorithm gets a hold of you, and all of a sudden, apart from Space Marine 2, now you're getting Squidmar videos or Luton 09. And then, before I knew it, I was watching, the best way to glaze and thin your paints and stipple, and I never painted up a paintbrush. So it was about a month of watching that stuff when I kind of had the courage to come out to my wife and say that I was thinking of painting Warhammer. And she cried and hugged me and said she'd support me. And we'd get through this difficult stage, as you do. And and then I bought the starter set, I think October 24.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just been a slow decline into financial ruin since then.
Oh, I'm glad I found somebody with such a good sense of humor for this episode. Dude, yours is as bad as mine.
Oh, you need it, man.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
so
So you got back into it about 10 months after I did.
Yeah, well, I was quite surprised. Like I say, I was listening. I think it was. I was watching your. Is it Warzy? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, Warzy.
Is it War? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my first episode.
Yeah. Is that right? Is that your first episode?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's been over a year now.
I was watching him then when you said. Yeah. Because his stuff is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Like every time he posts something, I'm like, wow. And like trying to zoom in is like, how does he do that stuff?
Yeah.
Like he must have the steadiest hand in the world. But
I've been trying to get him to come out to Vegas and hang out.
Oh yeah, is he Canadian?
Yeah, he's up in Canada.
Yeah.
He says him and his wife have been thinking about coming out here. So I'm like, yeah, dude, come out here, hang out. I want to see some of your models.
Yeah. So what was it that brought you back? Was it just an itch you had to
I'd always, since I stopped in 2012, I'd always continued to have an interest in it, and I'd pop into Games Workshop's website every so often and check out what was going on, and they came out with the Primaris Marines, and I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? What are these things? And I don't know. It just kind of. I think it was kind of during the end of COVID, like around 22. Like I was working my day job. I was running an art department for a sign shop. I'd been there for 11 years. No, at that time I was there for 9 years. And I was running my business on the side, so I was working 7 days a week. And like on Friday, Saturday nights, I would just hang around the house and just drink whiskey all night, and just hang out and stuff. And I started like much like you were talking about the algorithm. You pop on a Squidmar video, and all of a sudden, so there was Squidmar, my painting bestie. He was still painting at the time. Seeing some of the stuff he was doing. He recommended, he sent me a text one morning. He's like, hey Lennon, go check out this new chick from Games Workshop. She started her own channel, and that happened to be Louise Rogue Hobbies. And she was, at the time, she was just doing like, when she got back, when she started her own channel, she did a lot of OldHammer stuff. So it was really cool seeing that, and then discovering, I'd followed a couple of guys on Instagram that I liked. One of them was, I know his, I can always remember his real name, but he goes by, let me go to my YouTube and figure this out, because I can't think of his name. Well, there was, I didn't find Warheezy until I started my old Grumpy Wolf account. Minibar podcast. Who is it? No, pain is no. Where the hell is he? Oh, Pax Acrylica. There we go. I've been following Pax Acrylica for a while on my automotive account. I found him, and a couple of and Whiskey and Wizards. I found him, and I started seeing like this in 22. I started seeing like OldHammer stuff becoming relevant, and like people were still like really into it. And it was just kind of just started getting into it more and more, just following it. And then I think in 23, Darren Latham did his Space Marine challenge. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta get back into this. This looks so cool. Like there's like this whole community based around OldHammer stuff, and it's really big. So I don't know. I busted out whatever paints I still had left that were still good, and tried painting one night. I was like, oh, I can still do it. And then January 24, the end of January, I ended up just going full ham and buying a bunch of Vallejo paints and some Games Workshop paints. And that was the sad end of that story.
And now we're here.
It brought back a lot of happiness and satisfaction in my life that my side business had started really waning on, and just being able to paint miniatures again was a huge thing for me. And like, I'm doing it, I'm controlling all this stuff. Plus I had this idea about doing a podcast, talking to other painters like you, and I was like, oh, and I want to do painting tutorials. I just need to get my groove going back and start figuring out how to do things better. And it was just taking everything that from my career as a designer, a multimedia artist, and just rolling it into one spot. And it felt really good because I had like the whole band thing going. So I had the audio engineer and the audio mixing side I was the producer on our albums. And, nice. I had the computer knowledge of IT stuff for the web to do, like this stuff with. My gal helped me find the software I'm using, OBS. It was like, okay, I can actually, I'm doing shirts. I'm making shirts now. And it's just everything I've done for my entire career of being an artist is just lumped into this. And it feels really good to be this creative again and have this back in my life because of these silly little plastic men that we paint. Yeah.
So, because you've got quite a unique style. Did you always paint that way, or was that something you found when you came back to it?
No, I grew up in the 90s, so painting like the 90s has always been my jam. And I don't think I really got any actually good at it until I don't know, the 2000s up until the 10s when I stopped. And even back then, like I look at some of my competition models from then, and I'm like, God, I was still lazy. So just I didn't like the new grim dark style all that much. I thought it was a little strange, and I'm not hating on anybody who does it, because it takes a very particular mindset and skill set to do that, and it's really cool. But coming back into this, and like I was saying, the story, like seeing OldHammer was still cool. I'm just like, no, I'm gonna go full ham with this. Just embrace what I like to do, and just really expand on it. And the cool thing I've talked to other guests about is, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, is that, even if like grim dark is not your style, or slap chop isn't your style, or Zenithal stuff isn't your style, there's still something as an artist that you can learn from it if you try it and apply it to your specific style. There's always something new to learn in this hobby, and it is so cool. It's such a driving factor.
100%. Yeah, there's always somebody popping up on Instagram that has done something completely different or looked at the same model that you've done in a different style.
Did you discover Olden Demon last year? Because you did you did that Blood Angel, the captain, like the side profile captain, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So
that's how I found you.
That was that was. It was a bit of a cop out because it's quite an iconic thing. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I saw that cover, I was like, I'm going to have to try and give that a go.
Okay.
But I think it was. So basically, because everything's quite new. Basically, how I go about painting or selecting models is I want to try to get better at something. So I fell down a dwarf rabbit hole, basically because I wanted to paint faces better. And I tried the new style of dwarfs, but they're so small and quite plastically, and they just didn't really do it for me. So I then fell down this Oldhammer dwarf slayer type thing, and then while I was looking for that, in fact, there's a guy on Instagram called Rambling Longbeard. I don't know if you've heard of him. Mm-mm. A really good guy, but he does articles, like medium articles on basically Warhammer and different factions and the history of them, all the models. And I found this.
Hold on, what was his name? I want to check that guy out. What was his name?
Rambling Longbeard.
Rambling Longbeard. Okay, I'll check him out after the show. Yeah. I just don't want to forget.
He does a lot of Oldhammer stuff. I think he's doing like a skeleton army just now.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so he had an article that basically showed the history of dwarfs from, Warhammer Fantasy all the way through, and it had the Dragon Slayer dwarf that was the first one I kind of picked up. Which then, because of Olden Demon, and you search basically dwarfs and Instagram, that kind of led me on to Olden Demon and then down the dark pit of eBay and Oldhammer. And it was like discovering something else because, like I say, because I had no nostalgia to kind of latch on to, I'm kind of discovering these things as I discover the new stuff as well. So it's quite a good mix.
I asked one of the guests I had on, I forgot which one it was. I want to say it was Blue in Vermont. I was asking him about when this whole price gouging thing with Oldhammer models started. And he mentioned it was during COVID. He was like, before COVID, it was still pretty, everything was pretty normal priced, like kind of the way you remember it. Because a lot of the Oldhammer stuff I bought back in the early 2000s, like nobody wanted it because it was, we were on to third edition. So Rogue Trader, nobody wanted it and people couldn't get rid of it. So you buy, Oldhammer stuff for like pennies on the dollar. But, he said, it wasn't quite that cheap, but, it was still, Space Marine was, an old metal one was like $5 or $10. It wasn't $35 to $50, depending on how rarity of it now. And he's like, people during COVID, they figured they could make a lot of money by spiking the prices up on these old miniatures and these old box sets. And, well, I guess, here we are now post COVID and things have not changed with the Oldhammer models because people are still like, oh, we can make tons of money off this. But
yeah,
I found on, people are probably gonna hate me for saying this, but I found on like Facebook, like if you're in some of the Oldhammer groups and people are trying to get rid of something, if they're asking like $300 or $400 for something, and you throw them an offer $250 cash right there, they'll take it.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're
good. I try to avoid. I quite like niche things, so. I try to avoid other than the iconic one that costs quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's normally little stuff that I've never seen before. That I'm like, I like to print that. Yeah.
No, there's some interesting stuff that Workshops brought out over like the new Hammer stuff. I just bought a commemorative Sisters of Battle miniature. She was based on an old drawing that somebody did at Games Workshop. I don't know who it was. I don't think it was Mark Gibbons. But she's standing there. She's got her bolster pointed down, and she's holding a rosary by her waist. And GW made a model out of that, and I think I found one on eBay. Because he didn't have an actual picture of the model, it was priced really cheap, and like nobody would touch it. So I was like $35 for this thing, and then like everybody else was asking like between $80 to $115. I'm like, I'm gonna buy the $35 one, and it's brand new in box. It just doesn't have the original box. It's a generic box that GW sends out stock in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The black ones. Yeah.
So, and
yeah, there's nothing better than getting an eBay bargain.
Yeah.
Like when you see something or like there's a job lot, I'm like, I can see something there.
I think the one thing that's absolutely killing me right now is like I think you've heard me talk about them, the RTB 15 Strike Force Mark 7 Marines that I'm really big on, like the captain down in the left corner of the screen.
Yeah.
More and more and more and more of those are popping up on eBay for cheaper and cheaper and cheaper in like lots now. But the thing that's killing me is they don't come with arms, and the arms are the hardest part to get because they're specific to the RTB 15 Marines.
All right, I didn't realize. So, what's your thoughts on 3D prints? Are you against that?
I have nothing against them, man. For like Old Hammer stuff, I ain't got nothing against them. People are like, oh, it's stealing. No, it's not. It's really not.
If you
do they make these models anymore? No, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to bring them back out. No, they are not going to bring out Rogue anything pre-second edition. Done. They're not allowed to do that because of the Kirby deal with Ansel when Kirby bought out Ansel.
Oh, is that right? So so second edition and beyond.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's quite interesting.
I mean, I'm sure there's
that seems to be.
I'm sure there's like exceptions to the rule, but the deal was when Ansel left, he took all Rogue Trader stuff with him, and I think if you notice, GW doesn't really do a lot or reference a lot to Rogue Trader era.
No.
If they do, it's like a small little snippet in like a massive article, and like that's it. So I still want to get a hold of Ansel's wife because she's still alive and ask her some legalities behind what happened, where was the line drawn, what can be done, what cannot be done. But I've some of the guests I've had on have said like other sculptors, people who are doing stuff that looks like Rogue Trader era, both Fantasy Battle and 40K Rogue Trader era like sculpts. GW really doesn't mess with them because they know they're not going to sell thousands of them. It's not going to mess with their profit margin, anything like that. And I think it's also because GW has no interest in reproducing those models.
Yeah, because I've noticed that recently there seems to be a lot more. Well, in my case, like say, I only have a short period of this, but the made to orders, they seem to be more and more frequently. I wonder if they're trying to tap into this old hammer renaissance that's happening, because they just released the Orcs and there was the Space Marines and all the Librarians last month as well, and so I was quite surprised they haven't, but that makes a lot of sense if they don't have full control of the Rogue Hammer stuff.
Rogue Trader, sorry. I'm wondering because they're doing a lot of these old recasts or what the made to order. They're doing a lot of them in metal again. They're not. There's very few from what I've been reading and hearing from people. There's very few that are being cast in resin. So I'm wondering if in their casting department, if they actually like just bought up or got a new machine for spin casting and started training people how to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose they'll probably just find there's a market there, and if they've got the capabilities, then that makes sense to squeeze some pennies out of fans.
I'm curious. It just dawned on me. I'm curious if they're somehow getting their hands, if they've found and maybe they dug out of the archives the original, the master castings of the miniatures and like 3D scanned them and cleaned them up and then printed them and made rubber castings off those. Because I don't think it would be too hard to do.
Yeah.
Because if like producing spin cast molds is fairly cheap. It's just it's basically molded rubber. It's a rubbery compound. It's not like with plastic injection, like what they're doing now. That requires milling and like a 5-axis router that mills out the the metal in the mold from a 3D sculpt from a 3D model. And I'm wondering maybe if they're actually no, they can't do that. I was going to say that. I'm wondering if they're actually just milling out the rubber.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably blowing my, but I'm not too sure, but it's interesting.
Like, it's casting metal miniatures is nowhere near as expensive as casting a plastic a plastic or making a metal mold and then casting plastic miniatures. Like the casting, actually making the miniature, like the injection molding, super cheap. It's probably costing them 50 to 75 cents for the polystyrene that's injected in the mold. The mold itself is going to be like probably $8,000 to $10,000.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah. So I mean that initial investment is the hardest part, whereas the production of the product is the cheapest part and super easy. And the reason why I have a problem with like spending $75, $80 on like the new Logan Grimnar, I'm like, there's like $1.50 worth of polystyrene in this model, and the box was another $1. Come on.
Yeah. You try not to think about that though. But yeah. I know what you mean.
To kind of steer it back to some of the questions for the show, with your painting, like you're really good. I really like your models, and you've really got your head wrapped around this. What paints do you use?
So it's kind of changed recently. Started with Vallejo because I could get them from a quick online retailer next day. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of my first introduction. And then it took me a few months to get into the Warhammer shop to be brave enough to venture in. And then I got a couple of Citadel, but recently it's all been AK Interactive.
Oh, okay.
And I've been really impressed with them. Basically, I was really struggling with non-metallic metals and trying to get that down. Mm-hmm. So I was fortunate enough to get a recipe and really enjoyed the paints. Mm-hmm. So it's AK and Vallejo that are the most.
Oh, okay.
And Citadel, the only problem is the pots.
Yeah.
If they were in better pots, I would have used them more. Because some of the regular ones like Rhinox Hide, I use them all the time. But yeah, the paint pots are just a nightmare.
I think the only paints I still keep in Citadel pots are my contrast paints and my shade paints.
Yeah.
But I don't when I open them, I don't use the kickstand. I just open them, like just click them open. Get my paintbrush soaked in it, put it on my palette, do that a couple times, and then close it so that lid is never open completely.
Yeah.
But everything else is in dropper bottles now from Army Painter.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to get some. I was actually looking at a technique of decanting them today. So
yeah, it's totally worth it. It gets rid of a whole lot of problems.
Yeah. It's a shame because
Go ahead.
It's a shame because I haven't had any problems with the paints other than the lids, and they dry up if you get paint on them. So
make sure if you get the Army Painter, or if you get a dropper bottles, Army Painter actually makes mixing balls. You can pack like I think 50 or 75 of them for like $10. Yeah. So with your dropper bottles, drop in a mixing ball, and with Citadel paints, dude, add a little bit of water and then just mix it all up and you're good. They'll separate, but just get like after like a week or two of no use, they'll separate in the bottles, but just give them a good shake and they're usable again.
And they're fine, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good to know, because I did hear somebody saying you should use airbrush thinner just to get the paint out, but I wasn't too sure how that would work. I haven't tried that,
but I mean, like a natural dilutant for acrylic paint is just water. And I mean, it wasn't really until recently that people started getting into like the airbrush thinner and Citadel coming out with the what is that stuff called, the
Lamian
medium, Lamian media, and like like AK Pro Acryl, all them, they have their own versions of that they've released. But it's a relatively recent thing. I grew up for 25 odd years just watered down.
Yeah.
And water is free.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. You're right. I've actually fallen foul of that, and I've bought some glaze medium and hardly used it.
I've been curious about that, but again, I'm just like, that's probably $8 for a bottle of that stuff, and I might try it out. And I'll most likely try it out, find out I don't like it, and it'll just sit there.
It's okay, but it kind of gives a sheen to the models. Yeah, it does thin it down. I think for maybe whites, if you're worried about chalkiness, it might work. But I haven't used it enough to really kind of justify the price or the applications. But I might have to give it a go.
I've said this on numerous shows since you mentioned that you've gotten into AK. Dude, their consistency across the line, like when you water their paints down, their consistency is so good.
Yeah. That's the main thing. I like Vallejo. I didn't have any problems other than sometimes the chalkiness with their paints and the thickness. The red sometimes can be a little bit flaky. Yeah. But yeah, AK has been perfect.
Have you tried the new Vallejo formula yet? Since they went to the clear bottles.
Oh no, no, I don't think so.
The few paints I have from them, they all dry matte now.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Like I was used to the satiny finish that they had. That's one reason why I liked them so much. And the same thing with current War Painter or Army Painter War Painter. It dries with a somewhat satin finish, and it does affect. It has mixing different finished paints creates different effects the way they interact with each other. So I mean that's the big thing I'm big on is like just paying attention to behavior. But I have a handful of the new Vallejos, and they all dry matte. It's kind of weird.
All right. And what's about Army Painter? How are they? Because I made the mistake of cheaping out when I first I got this. It was, I don't know if they were from the Army Painter, but they were very similar, but they were branded something different, and they were the worst paints.
Well, the original Army Painter formula now is gone. They've replaced it with the War Painter formula. And I never tried the Army Painter formula. Some people got along with it. Other people said it was just absolutely terrible. I had one guest on here. He has two guests. They had a particular color they really liked from the original Army Painter line that they swore by, and they're frustrated they can't get it anymore because they like the behavior of it and just how it works in their workflow. But the War Painter stuff, it's a little tricky sometimes because some of the colors like to stay sticky after they dry, and it takes I want to say it takes probably a good hour for it to fully cure. But working with their paints, I've really enjoyed I've really enjoyed them. They layer glaze very easily.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, well, that's when you talk about the stickiness. That's exactly the problem I had, especially when I was starting. I was trying to get all the paint into the corners, and I ended up with little wrinkles all over it.
Oh, that's a totally different problem. I was talking about like once like hypothetically you just do a base coat, you get a couple of base coats on there. If you're not careful, like if you're handling the model with your fingers, it'll pull finger oil really easily, or it'll pull dust from your desk.
All right.
Yeah, but if you've got a paint handle, or if you wear gloves and you know how to handle the model, once you get used to the stickiness of it, you don't really run into that problem anymore.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still too fingery. Yeah,
I think Squidward did a video about like the rip-off series that they do, and they bought some like cheap acrylic paints off Temu, and they're like, these things are just terrible, man. Don't ever buy these things.
Yeah, I've tried not to cheap out a couple of times, but I think when you start, because they're so expensive and you want to buy the models, every time I've cheaped out, it's kind of bit me. I was like, I should have just bought the.
Well, the hardest thing for me getting back into it was there was just so many paint lines, and I was really scared that like things had changed a lot. I didn't know what paint line to buy because like I wanted the old Games Workshop paints that I grew up with, and that formula doesn't exist anymore. Well, it does from nostalgia, but I wanted something that was like I could just buy off the shelf. I'd go to my local hobby store or my local game store and just get it right off the rack. So I just bit the bullet, and my painting besties like, dude, try Vallejo. They're similar to the old paints we're used to, and so hence the start with Vallejo. And Vallejo in Vegas was kind of a pain to find. One of the only shops that I found that had the full line was like completely across town. And after that, I bit the bullet and bought some Citadel paints to try them out. Found out really quickly I didn't like them.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, you're just not a fan.
Yeah, their new formula, I don't like their acrylic medium. It's like this weird gel.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean,
it's quite interesting because
you know what I'm talking about. Like compare Citadel paints to AK paints, two totally different things.
Oh yeah. There's definitely a better flow with AK.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so they're definitely my new go-to. Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with them. Have you tried
Pro Acryl?
No, it's like say I don't know if is that US based?
But they have a distributor over in the UK now.
All right, oh nice. I'll maybe have to look at that because I've heard some good things. But I haven't tried Pro Acryl, or is it Scale 75 as well? Some people.
Yeah, I think Scale seems to be like more of a European thing. Like I've had a few American guests who have mentioned it, like Scale and P3. They seem to be P3, more European, more heavy in the European market than they are in the US market.
Yeah, well, like I say, I haven't come across them in any kind of hobby stores around here, but that's not to say that they're not in the UK. But yeah, that's two paints I haven't really touched. But I've heard P3's whites are might be quite good. But like I say, once you've got a brand, I think it's better just to kind of stick with it rather than. Unless
it's not a bad thing to branch out, because if like you find that there's like one color and one brand that you're having a hard time with, try a similar color from a different brand, because it's going to be the behavior of it's probably going to be different. And you might like, I've got the majority of my paints are AK Pro Acryl. I'm building my War Painter line because I've been using a lot of their stuff for Paint and Space Raincer tutorials, and then a bit of Citadel. And I just have like I'll have some of the same colors from different lines, because like if for one thing I might like the behavior versus another. On like if I'm doing the whole armor in one blue, I'll want to use the War Painter versus like if I want to do a weapon or a gem in a certain color, and I prefer the behavior of another one when I have to lay it over white or a black undercoat or something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. I think because everything's still quite new, like I feel like still I'm quite a beginner in all this kind of stuff. Maybe I just don't have that kind of feel yet. I just wing it and just go.
Just branch out and like just try different stuff. It's if you pop $5 or $10 on a couple of or 10 quid on a couple of bottles of paint, and you find like maybe 2 out of the 4 you bought work, whatever. You just found 2 things you really like. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then your buddy down the street, who is painting. Here's some free paints. I'm never going to use these.
Yeah.
And the next time you're at the hobby shop, where they'll be like, "Hey, remember all those free paints you gave me? Can you buy me those?"
Yeah, these ones. Yeah, and this colors. Yeah.
And speaking of, we mentioned it earlier. Do you varnish your models?
Yes and no. I because I'm a tight-fisted Scotsman. For a while, I was just rattle canning it with the Army Painter matte varnish, and I kind of got it down. It was too far enough that it kind of just did a light glaze, and it was okay. But then I got the dreaded fuzz this winter on one of my models, and it just hit it, and it just started like bubbling up. It's like, what have I done?
Wow.
So I've moved to. Yeah, it was the first time. It was actually you couldn't see it clump, but it was just fuzzy, like the whole model. So that was kind of my first.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, so maybe it was me. I don't know whether it was the can or the weather, or I hadn't shaken it right, or. So that was my first kind of let's reassess this, especially when you finish the model, because you think that's kind of the final thing to do.
Yeah,
and it's like maybe I need to actually go for the professional stuff here. So another AK product, the matte ultra matte varnish. I haven't really used it that much.
Is that in a can or is that in a bottle?
It's a little bottle.
Okay,
I think
that's
it's
what I thought.
for airbrush application, but you can use it for a brush as well.
Okay.
So I have got an airbrush, but I haven't had a chance to use it. And on my last couple of models, I've been trying to hold off. Just basically, I was trying to really improve. I felt like I'd hit a plateau. So I was like, you know what, I need to slow down. I need to try and work out how to kind of get a little bit better. So I've been holding off on the varnish. And then kind of coming back to models and reassessing if they need kind of work. Because I think once you've got the varnish on, it's like they're done.
Yeah.
So I try and avoid it. But for now, it's the AK Ultra Matte and some satin as well. Because I heard some podcasts that if you mix them, you're meant to get a good result. But I've never done that, so I don't know if it is.
That's different. I've never heard that before.
No, I think it was satin and matte to kind of get a slightly less matte but less shiny. I don't want to try. I'm not brave enough to try it. I maybe trying one of the old ones that look a bit naff, and then
I feel kind of bad because I bought a bottle at LVO in last January. I bought a bottle of the Pro Acryl matte varnish, and I've still yet to use it. I'm stuck on using Citadel's Munitorm varnish on everything because I've gotten the hang of like using it and getting really good results, and I'm like, I just don't want to switch now, even though the stuff is $24 a bottle.
Jeez, $24, man. The thing is, once you enjoy something, it's hard to kind of get out of that groove. And it's only until like I had that hiccup, I would have been still just using that rattle can, just because it was cheap. And
well, the Munitorm varnish I found, like, or Citadel in the 2000s, they brought out their own matte clear coat, and I was really hot on it, and I ran into some problems with it where you get like the fogginess and crevices where it collects, and I didn't know what that was. Now I do. But also, that clear coat was not archival quality. It turned yellow after 15, 20 years, and it like ruined pretty much all the stuff that I painted from back then. And so I've got to repaint a whole load of crap. I don't care. But the new Munitorum varnish, it's a totally different formula. It smells completely different. It stinks for like 2 weeks after you coat the model with it. But what I was talking about, the fogginess and crevices, it doesn't go foggy. It goes glossy. So that's a good thing, because all the models I had from when I was a kid, I used to use a Raw Partha clear coat. It was a gloss clear coat, and man, I wish I could get another bottle of that stuff. I was always curious about trying their matte in later years, but by then they weren't making it anymore. But that stuff was actually archival quality, because all the miniatures that I have from a kid still, there's one specific model box of stuff that I just won't repaint. But all those models are sprayed with Raw Partha, and they still look like the day I shot them.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one. Oh, that's a nice little time capsule.
Yeah, I'm praying that the Munitorum varnish, especially with the amount of models I've been painting, I pray that the Munitorum varnish is like archival quality this time around, because that matte clear coat. Thanks, GW. Really appreciate that you ruined all my old models because you cheaped out and went with a company that just made cheap clear coat.
I know. Yeah, it's something you don't even think about, the kind of the longevity as well while you're doing it. Mm-hmm. But I can imagine it's just soul destroying when you've taken so much time, and then something as mundane as something that you think is going to protect the model ends up kind of destroying it. But, I mentioned some of those old pieces, some of my old competition pieces that I did. I look at them now, I'm just like, God, they look good to me back then, but I knew I was kind of being sloppy, and now I just look at them like, I'm repainting you, I'm repainting you, I'm repainting you. I do that from a model 2 weeks ago. So, in fact, if they last that long, because I don't play the game, because it was something that I never really grew up with, I just end up selling my models on eBay. So that's try to fulfill or fund my hobby with eBay sales. So
I never got into the gaming side of things. Like I played Space Hulk a lot, and I got into Blood Bowl for a little while, but like 40K and Fantasy Battle, and a lot of people have actually commented this, kind of agreed the same thing, is there's just so many rules.
Yeah, it's not user friendly at all. I mean, like I say, when I was a kid, I had no idea it was a game. They actually needed a Saturday morning cartoon. If they had done that to explain it to kids. That'd
have been one hell of a cartoon back in the 90s, man.
So can you imagine? Yeah. After the Ninja Turtles, then it's 40K chaos. That would be ideal. So now they're thinking of it, maybe they should do that. But yeah, so the idea, it's purely just painting for me. Like I'm okay with the idea of the game. I think, maybe I might get into it, and then they take the measuring tape out, and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's it. That's
I got to try the local Warhammer store. The guy who runs the local Warhammer store, he came up with one of his own games. I think you might have heard me mention. It's called Rhino Racing, and the rules are based off the way Squig Racing was played, and I guess it's still played. And Squid Racing is a special event that they do at Games Days. So he modified the rules to use epic scale rhinos. And I grabbed the whole family, my gal, the 2 kids, and I all went to Warhammer to play over in December. And dude, it is so fun. It's the stupidest, simplest game you can play, and God, is it funny.
Yeah, that's what you need, man. You need something daft and silly that's just enjoyable.
All those rhinos and land raiders that I painted up, I don't know if you ever saw my post on that, but that was for the shop owner.
Oh, nice one.
Specifically,
so that's why they were there, yeah.
Yeah, specifically for Rhino Racing.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, that was impressive, man. That looked awesome.
Thanks.
And you did it quite quick. It was like every day there seemed to be a new color, a new rhino that was coming out.
Dude, that was a slog. That was that was hard. And that was just like me getting them done. just working out color formulas. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, there was actually, it was an excuse to actually buy more AK paints because I wanted to try more of their line, and I had for 2 projects that I had for Christmas presents that year. We're going to evolve a lot of those colors, so I was like, okay, I need to come up with formulas for these colors, especially that Kirby Marine, and painting those rhinos was a good excuse to do it because a bunch of the chaos stuff ended up some of those color schemes made it over to what I painted for Christmas.
Yeah. So how do you do your recipes? Do you practice on a test model, or do you just paint one and then
for my Space Marine sometimes there's this. So when I got back into it, I bought a box of 30K of Horse Heresy Beakies. The Battle Force, it's like 20 in a box. It was like freaking $80, but I put one together with the intention of painting them, and then one night I forgot what I was even doing, but I needed to test out a color recipe, so I just painted one of his legs, and then that poor guy, he became like my test model for like formula recipes and stuff. So he's got like 17 different colors on him now, with like coats of paint.
Brilliant. This poor guy in the corner just looking at these other beautifully painted.
Oh, he's turning into a crayon eater. But at least the nice thing is like I didn't prime him, so he's still in pure plastic. So I just throw him in some alcohol. The stuff will come right off.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Have you heard of the crayon eaters?
No, but maybe I have. I don't know. Possibly. Did somebody paint one recently?
Yeah, well, Louise did one on Rogue Hobbies, and she explained the whole history of it. In that, with the Space Marine 2 game, people ended up just started making like every single panel of the Space Marine armor a different color, and it's now like an unofficial but official chapter. They call it the Crayon Eaters, and she actually painted one up, and she entered it in Golden Demon last year and took home like a commended for it.
No way. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. I did think I saw it, but I thought she called it the Rainbow Guys, but maybe it was the Crayon Eaters. But yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, so my poor test models, they become Crayon Eaters.
Perfect.
With kind of going back into some of the questions for the show, who influenced your painting style? Because you've got that old 90s Grimbright style going on.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think I really have a style yet. I seem to chop and change. That's a really tough one, because I don't know if there has been one person that's kind of really influenced it. And it's difficult to pinpoint, because basically I just use Instagram as a reference. Yeah. I actually say that I'm a better copier than I am a painter. So if I can see a model, I can copy it quite well. And now I'm trying to use those kind of skills of copying to kind of put them back in. But yeah, there's a load of guys that are just insane. I remember even before getting into Warhammer, now and again it would come into my Instagram feed, and I think it was Josie. Is it Josie Da Vinci? I can't remember his Instagram title, but
Jose Da Vinci.
Yeah.
I literally just saw his stuff today.
Yeah,
I thought his name was really funny, Jose Da Vinci.
Yeah, and I remember like seeing this picture, and I remember showing my wife, and it's like, can you understand how incredible this is? It's like he's managed to paint perfect nipples on something as small as your pinky. Which to this day is still my goal. One day I will paint the perfect nipple. Yeah, so there's loads. I mean,
painting goals, perfect nipples.
Perfect nipples, yeah. Yeah, I just need references. So if anybody wants to send, don't please send any references.
Don't open that Pandora's box, dude.
No. My DMs are bad. No, there's nothing in my DMs, but certainly I don't need nipple references. Yeah, so back to my influences. There's Magnus from Get Good. I recently joined their Patreon because I really liked his stuff.
Magnus Mateague?
Yes. Yeah.
I like Magnus.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Actually, I think I get to meet him next week.
Oh yeah, because he's going Adepticon.
Yeah, Magnus is going to Adepticon, so I get to hang out with him.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah,
he's like, dude, send me a text when you get here.
Oh, next one. That'll be good. Yeah, him, and then obviously there's Richard Gray, who is, one of the the peaks. Although I tried, so the last kind of the main one I did was the Deathbringer, which is kind of very heavily influenced on his tutorial for his Deathbringer, and I quite liked his.
Are you talking about
style
Titan?
No, it's like a Age of Sigma one. The Deathbringer.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
is it
little horned.
Okay, I'll pull up your Instagram in a little bit if you've got it on there. I'll point it out.
Yeah, but he has, like, his style is incredible. But the more I did it, the more I realised I quite just like the smooth gradients, a bit more of like the grim. So yeah, I actually feel jealous of guys that have kind of a unique style, because I kind of think mine's a bit scattergun and all over the place. But,
well, you'll eventually fall into something. But the cool thing is, like, what I'm learning is, like with my Blood Angels, like the way I was painting the one down the left corner, I've actually modified that formula. So like I go a little bit brighter. It's the Chibi Marine. That's kind of my new way of painting Blood Angels.
Yeah.
And I thought he'd be a good test model to try it on. It started with the I did a test paint on an old second edition Captain, the Blood Angel that was in the Devastator's box, the guy who's pointing his finger.
Oh yeah.
So I did a test. I just pulled him out. I was going to repaint him, but I just did a test paint on him, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this I'm going to try this on my Lamardes, and then I did that Primaris for the local Warhammer store. Yeah. And I tried some new things on that. They didn't work out the way I wanted them to. So I got the third chance with the Chibi. I was like, no, I'm going to dial it back a little bit. And yeah, the cool thing is when you know, like your style, it will change over time, because you'll find, I want to try something new. And then, it just deviates.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm kind of at a stage where I was trying to work out what I really enjoyed. And I think it's difficult because you're obviously result based. So as soon, like, you don't want to paint a bad model, but you want to enjoy the paint process. And I think I've tried to reevaluate that. And it's like, I paint because I enjoy it, not because of the end goal. So like I painted one recently. I was like, it looks all right, but I just didn't enjoy it. So I'm kind of going back to what I enjoy, because basically that's how I got into the hobby.
Some of the higher end painters I've had on the show, they said exactly pertaining what you said. Paint what you enjoy. Yeah. Because you'll get a lot better painting what you enjoy than painting something that you really don't enjoy at all.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that, especially now, because I have no ambitions of like going, too far in this. I just quite enjoy painting, and if it gets better, if I get better, then that's all for it. But I think it's definitely a good kind of motto to hang on to, is paint what you enjoy and try not to chase any fads or something that just doesn't suit you. Yeah. So,
well, and that's kind of key to getting your own style, is, just staying in your lane and really focusing on what you're doing. Yeah.
But I mean, that's one thing I'm quite envious of you, because it's so unique. Like, you can tell your model straight away.
I keep hearing that from people.
Which is an awesome thing, because like, that's, whereas I kind of think that because I've got no kind of unique kind of paint style, that the only thing I can kind of do is try something different on any little model.
I just thought of something that might actually help, and it's been helping me with my own stuff. Paint a squad. Start painting squads. Don't kill yourself doing 10-man. Like, if you're doing Space Marines, just do a 5-man squad. Yeah. And try to make sure that, like, every single model you use the same method on, and do that 4 or 5 or 6 times, and you'll start kind of developing the things that you like to do, and you'll start noticing stylistic things that you like to do. And you can really start focusing on evolving those things and getting better at them. Good example is the Mentor Legion, the Sneaky Beaky, down on the right-hand side of the podcast screen.
Oh, yeah.
I've been thinking lately about possibly doing a tutorial for those, even though nobody knows what the hell Mentor Legion is. But the way that I paint those is drastically different than the way I paint the Space Wolves and the Blood Angels and my Ultramarines. But like I was painting my Mentor Legions, they were just meant as one-offs because I was able to. I found Pro Acryl white works like the old Citadel white I was used to, so I was able to like really layer glaze and do cool things. One of my painting teachers when I was a kid taught me, or he did up a squad in Mentor Legion, and I spent like over a decade trying to figure out how he did the white with that really cool green tint in it. Now I figured it out. It only took me forever, but the way that I do those is not the way that I do my other Marines, and I want to actually come up with a good way of showing like a tutorial for it. And when I was starting out, I was still kind of like figuring out how to do things and like rein in like my highlighting style and my shading style. And it's an ongoing thing, but where it really came together was when I sat down and started doing squads.
Yeah.
Because it forces you to do the squad the same way, and by the end of the fifth model, if there's something in there that really takes up a good amount of time and you want to figure out how to modify, that's something that you can figure out to like, okay, I got to focus on fixing that because that took 3 times as long as everything else I was doing. And I'm not saying necessarily for speed, I'm just saying for coming up with processes to work with your style.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting because that's the only thing I probably haven't really done is tackle a squad.
It helps.
I don't know if I've got the stamina for it yet, but I'll definitely maybe try and give it a go.
My first squad that I just did completely the entire way through nonstop was those Rogue Trader Space Wolves that I did for Las Vegas Open. And I mean, I was miserable by the time I was done, but I was doing them for a purpose. And I mean, this time around, we don't have 2 LVOs. We've got one. It's in October, the way LVO has always been, just once a year. So I can actually plan around it accordingly, as opposed to like last minute, like, oh, they have a squad category now. I want to enter 2 squads. I've got my Blood Angels. I'm going to do my Space Wolves. But the Blood Angel Sneaky Beakies I did the first one is for a planned project that I kind of gave up, and then I was like, I was painting. I think it was in the middle of painting stuff for Christmas, and I was like, I want to paint a Sneaky Beaky and do something. So I painted another Blood Angel Sneaky Beaky, and I'm like, okay, I did a third one in January, and I was like, all right, I've got 3 of these guys. I might as well make them a squad. I did like the last 2, I think, in March of last year, or something like that. Yeah. So now it's just like. With my tutorial videos, I figured out a really good way of getting the formula down for the Ultramarines video that I'm releasing on Tuesday. I mean, God, this is coming out in July, so that'll be out long before then. So I decided to do an entire squad. I was putzing around with my test model, it took me forever to figure it out, got the formula down, did the first model of the squad, and then batch painted 3 more, and then saved the last miniature of the squad for the tutorial video, so I had everything just burned in my brain. And, by the time I was done, I was like, okay, I've got my Ultramarines formula down now, and cool, I can modify it from here. I bought I think it was January, I was over at a place here in town called Little Shop of Magic, and they had a couple of the original Lieutenant Titus models left because GW's resculpted and brought on a new one, so they had a few of the old ones left. And I was like, you know what, I'm actually gonna paint him like full competition level Ultramarine. So now I have the formula down, I can apply that to competition. But doing that 5-man squad, man, that just all the way through, it sucked because I had to make a tutorial video for it, but they're sitting over on my shelf. I'm making a display for them tonight, and it's worth it because it's like, okay, this really ingrained it, and I can modify it from here. So the whole point of me rambling, I'm so sorry, is try painting a 5-man squad. You don't have to do it all in one go, but do like 2 or 3 models, and it really helps to get, I don't know, the processes of what you do stuck in your head. And when you're done, you're like, okay, I want to modify this, I want to modify that, and I want to try adding this color, and you really start developing, I guess, your own style from that. That's a really good take. Yeah, I might have to do that. So have you got a plan for LVO, or is that a secret, or? No, none of this crap's secret. I don't care. I bought it was in the 2000s. I want to say it was mid to late 2000s. GW sculpted up it was that Chaplin Terminator that had all the scrolls all over him, and he was pointing the bolts forward.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
I bought another. Yeah. I bought another one of him. I can't repaint my original because I shaved a bunch of stuff off and green stuff to make him a Space Wolf. But I bought another one of him, so I'm going to paint him up as a Blood Angel. And
nice
I'm really excited to paint that model. I freaking love that model. That is the best Chaplin model they've ever released. Ever.
It is awesome. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
I mean, they should make that. That should be just a company icon figure for everything. Games Workshop models, Chaplin from the 2000s. I'm doing him, and I don't know what I'm going to do for my second single miniature entry yet. I might do Titus. I don't know yet. For squad, I'm entering. I might do, well, when I get into my Dark Angels, I'm going to do a Dark Angel squad. I've got 3 squads that I'm taking the Ultramarines with me to Golden Demon, so that'll be one of the squads. I have that Strike Force Mark 7 squad, the Sarge is down in the left-hand corner. I might enter both of those, or depending on how the Dark Angels come out, I might enter those and the Ultramarines for squads. I bought a Sisters of Battle bust that I need to have somebody print that I really want to paint. It's so cool. And the big boobied girl that I painted up for my gal with the kitty between her boobs. I painted her for my gal for Christmas. I'm gonna enter her as a bust, and then hopefully that Sisters of Battle bust. And I think that's all the categories I can enter, because I don't have any large scale. The one diorama that I'm doing.
Oh, nice one, yeah.
So I talked about this in my last episode. Have you played Hollow Knight or Silk Song?
I have never played it, but I have got it in my Steam ready to play.
So I bought this, and I'm going to repaint this and make this into a little diorama inside of her box.
Oh, nice one. So it's going to be in the box now.
The plastic container that holds her in there is garbage. So I'm going to build like a little base that she sits on. I'm going to magnetize her on it. And then the background, I'll have it painted like Gross Motto. And then like I'll paint up like little bushes and put them in front, like in paper, and put them in front of her in the display. Yeah. So that'll be my cool diorama entry.
Yeah. Oh, nice one, man. That sounds really good.
I'm stoked. Yeah. I love Hornet. Hornet
I've heard awesome. A lot of good things. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. But no, that's a good idea, man.
Oh, are you doing Olden Demon again this year?
I hope so. Yeah, I've done a couple, but as we get closer, sometimes I go, oh, you know what, I'll try something else. But I did. It's a Beastmaster theme. I found a Necromunda Beastmaster.
Oh, cool.
Guy.
Oh, which one?
And then I found. Oh, it's a guy that looks like the music producer, Rick Ross. He's got the long white hair and the beard, and he's holding a stick.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I did him, and I did another kind of Beastmaster from Warhammer Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But so those are the 2 that I've kind of got in the barrel just now, but is it May time where it's normally?
Yeah, it's the end. I think submissions are due by like May 31st.
Yeah, so I've still got a couple of months to change my mind or find something else, but yeah, hopefully, yeah, I quite enjoy it. Like it kind of, it's always kind of good to have a little. Well, online competitions, there doesn't seem to be that much pressure because you're like, well, it's just a picture, so it's. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go in person and get rejected. So I'm always more susceptible to putting stuff in there. So.
I'll be curious to see what you work up.
Yeah, but I'm guessing you'll be doing it as well. Eh?
I'm on the fence about it. I don't know if I'll have time. I'm sure. Like my biggest goal right now is just getting both. Well, I mean, I got 1 of 2 done. Just getting both my tutorials done for this year. They just take a lot to do.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
I'm more over the next like year or 2. I'm more focused on actually doing LVO, doing Golden Demon, and doing Nova.
All right. Yeah.
Olden Demon. If I do anything, it just dawned on me when you were talking. My gal for Christmas, she bought me an old Typhus model, the Nurgle Terminator dude.
Oh yeah.
She bought me the original metal one, and it's actually a really good casting. So I was thinking, I thought I might do him as my second single miniature entry for LVO, but If I asked David about entering him in Olden Demon, he's like, yeah, you know what? I think I'll allow it.
Oh, nice one.
So I might, if I have time, I might do him. But right now I'm just kind of on a strict timeline of I've got the Ultramarines squad is done. The video is coming out Tuesday, and then I'm doing. I bought the first second edition Marnius Calgar. I bought him. I'm working on a Rogue Trader Ultramarine Terminator to mimic what was in the old painting guide, and I might do the old Ultramarine captain with the brush on his head and the sword out from second edition. He was in Rogue Trader as well, but I might do him and then make a big display base of all five of the 5-man squad, and then the 3 guys in the background as just a display piece, and then I need to move on to Dark Angels from there.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just get those 2 tutorial videos done and be like, okay, I've got all 4 chapters done. I can relax on tutorials for a year. Yeah,
chill, take it easy. Yeah, nice one, man. Yeah, that's a hell of a schedule. I admire your commitment. I just basically go, I'll paint this today and then that tomorrow, and that's how I kind of.
Well, I'm trying to make this like Old Grumpy Wolf the career thing for the next 10 to 15 years of my life, and so I'm just kind of sticking to like building the foundations of what I need to do right now.
Yeah, nice one.
But yeah, with Old Name, I'm curious to see what you came up with, because that Blood Angel you did last year, I thought that was absolutely badass.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
I was digging through the Olden Demon tag, like work in progress, and then entry tags you guys were using, and I came across yours. I was like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as I saw that model, because there's something about, like, even though, like I say, I didn't have any kind of nostalgia kind of linked to it because I didn't play it as a kid, but there's something so cool about, the older stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because they're less clinical or if they're a bit more cartoony in their kind of limb designs or what, but they're just,
Well, I'm guessing you grew up in the 90s.
Yeah. So I do remember them as such, but I never really painted them.
No, I have the same affinity toward, especially second edition, like late Road Trader and second edition stuff. And I think it's because, we're a product of the 90s. We're children of the 90s, and it is very much in line with, what was popular back then, as far as like if you were a kid or a teenager, like the cartoons and the entertainment and the movies, the sci-fi stuff. It was, there was nothing quite like it, but it was very much in line with that. So we've kind of got this nostalgia for, that era of our lives.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
As like you look at the new stuff, and like some of it's pretty good, but it's not the same.
No, as I'd enjoy it. Like,
you don't get the same tinglies in your belly.
That's it, true. No, and those are special, especially at my age. It's always good when you get into the belly. There's something. Yeah, they definitely have a charm to them that the new ones don't. So yeah.
I came up with a couple of new questions I've been asking guests, and I think they're actually really good questions. And I think one will be really good for you. Like since in this case, since getting back into painting, has it had a positive effect on your life?
Yeah, I think so. Like I say, it was never something I was actively looking for, but it's definitely kind of got me out of a rut of just coming home. And I think, because I work 9 to 5 and we've got kids, you can kind of fall into that trap of just sitting in front of the telly and, the evenings go. Yeah. It's still quite insular as a hobby. My wife is delighted that I am not talking to her about Warhammer. For one time, I'm actually speaking to somebody else.
I guess that's where I'm fortunate, because my gal really likes orcs, squigs, and gobos and stuff, and she's total comic book dork, so she's really into this stuff.
Oh no, my wife is lovely, and she does kind of listen, and every time I show her a new model, she goes, "Oh, that's very nice." But you can tell there's like a glaze in her eyes, thinking, "Just please."
Have you had her paint with you?
No, she is not very arty. She crochets. Obviously, this is her. So yeah, we're like a couple from the 20s. I paint and she crochets, and we listen to the radio. It's it's like a throwback. I think it's nice just to chill and take your mind off it. Put a podcast on or a
Yeah.
video in the background and just concentrate on one thing that isn't, there isn't a deadline. It's just painting for the enjoyment of it. So yeah, it's definitely.
It's I found it's actually you might want to try getting your wife in on it or the kids.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to share. The neat thing was like at LVO in October on Saturday, I took my gal came with. Friday was painting Bestie and me, and then Saturday was me, the gal, and the kids. And the kids brought their significant others, and they thought it was really cool. And they sat down at the Too Thin Coats booth and tried a paint and take. And boy kid, he says to me, he's like, dude, this is really cool, but man, is it hard? I got a lot of respect for what you do now.
Yeah. I tried to get my son. He is a whirlwind of chaos, and he's into VR just now. So I think he dipped his kind of Space Marine in paint and then left.
Oh jeez.
And then was back being a virtual gorilla. So it's difficult to put. My eldest daughter, she's quite artistic, and I've tried to get into her, but I actually bought her a set, but we still just haven't found the time to do it. But yeah, hopefully they'll.
My gal and I did a paint night, date night one night, and there's so many nights in that sentence. Yeah, I was trying to teach her how to paint an orc, and I didn't have the best way of explaining to her, but I pulled out, like, over time, I pulled out a few examples again, and she really wants to get into painting. She really liked it. She came when she came with me to the first LVO. She did a paint and take at the Too Thin Coats booth, and she really enjoyed it. And she's like, I really want to repaint that snail I was working on, so I stripped it for her and reshot it in primer. But she hasn't worked on it yet. She just needs to find the time. But she really liked it. And now that I found a few articles in like White Dwarf and some online stuff to show her like how highlighting works and how shading works, she's like, oh, now I get it. The way you were explaining it, you just suck at it. I'm like, well, thanks, Pepper. I appreciate that. But,
yeah, I mean that's one of the best things just now, the amount of content you can pick up on the internet and just find a decent guide on how to do things. Even YouTube shorts, like, if you just want a 20-second video on how to paint leather, there's so much information out there that it's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might give that a go, try and get the kids some more involved.
Oh, you got to admit, like in modern times, it's really cool, and I've talked to numerous guests about this. It's just really cool. Comparison to the 90s when I started, the wealth of information and the ease of accessing said information, like YouTube tutorials and wherever else you get your stuff from. It's just, there's so much, and it's like, it really helps now because you can sit there and watch people actually paint the way that they apply the color, the way that they mix the colors, their technique. Whereas in the old painting guides from the 90s, obviously we didn't have YouTube back then because we're old geezers. Like in White Dwarf and painting guides, you'd have like the 4 miniatures lined up, like primer, base coat, shade, done. It's like, you're missing some steps in there.
It's just, there's a beautiful model at the end, and then there's the 2 steps, and like, hold on a second, how did you go from?
And now it's like, you could pull up tutorials even like mine, where it's, some of them are more in depth, some of them are very short, but from start to finish, explaining all the colors that they use, how they're applying their paints, what techniques they're using. And it's so cool to have that wealth of information now, especially for, guys just starting out. I mean, it's got to be kind of overloading, but at the same time, like somebody like you who's just getting back into it and getting his groove back again, you can really pull from that wealth of information very easily. You're looking for something specific, and as soon as you find, you're like, oh, okay, I got it, totally got it, done.
Yeah. No, it's ideal. Like, it's just, so good just now.
So, and I have one last question for you on it. What is it about painting that's special to you?
Oh, well, it's the age-old thing. It's not the destination; it's the friends you make along the way, isn't it? No, I don't know. It's I think it's probably the perfect hobby. Or as close as you can get. Mm-hmm. It's got a little bit of everything. Especially Warhammer. I think when you try to be creative, they always say that the hardest thing to do is put down the first lick of paint. Mm-hmm. And Warhammer's kind of done that for you. You have this little model that is basically a blank canvas, but there's a story behind it if you want. So it's quite unique in a way that you've got this little model that you can paint how you want it, But if you want to paint it as a chapter, and then you get the development side of things, so you can see yourself progress. But there's no real pressure on you to, improve. It's just doing it for you. So, and then obviously you see other people as well that are kind of doing it at the same time or have started at the same time as you. So yeah, I think it's just a mixture of kind of everything. It's just a nice little hobby to chill out, where there's no pressure, and you don't have to worry too much. You don't have to think too much. Sometimes it's nice just to go, I'm going to paint a blood angel and just sit and pick up.
I think one other thing too, like, it's the tangibility of it. You're not behind a screen.
Yeah, it gets you away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just something to switch off to and just numb the brain for a little bit.
Yeah. With that said, let's dig into your Instagram a little bit. This is I've kind of changed the show format a little bit. This is a bit shorter than it used to be because this was the least watched portion of the show. There we go. And since we kept talking about him and gushing on about him, this is your blood angel that you entered.
Yeah. So I think that was my first kind of old model that I painted. So, and I just loved it. I felt, like I say, because everything's still new to me, all the second edition stuff, as soon as I saw this guy, I think it was actually, is it Goblin Green that does the YouTube tutorials? That's still my highest. He liked that picture, and to this day, I kind of screenshotted it. I was like, Goblin Green liked this, and my wife's going, "Who? Goblin what?" And I was like, "You have no idea how big this was to me." I felt like a little fangirl just going. But yeah, I just loved the pose. I loved, the iconic Blood Angel. So I kind of gave it my best go, and it's, I look at it now and it's still a bit ropey, but I had so much fun painting it that, I've still got it. It's one of the only ones I'll probably keep because it's kind of the best I could do at that time.
Well, yeah, I can see the influence from his tutorial in this, and the thing is, like, that's actually close to how I've evolved my painting style of my Blood Angels too.
Yeah,
you got the whole Grimbright idea down pat, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. His tutorial was so good, and like the lenses are just from that tutorial, and it was just kind of. I tried a little bit of the non-metallics on the chest. It doesn't really work. It looks a bit brown, but yeah, I was quite happy with that. I was really, and like I say, I think it's just so iconic. And that red, I think, any kind of miniature, it's a pop. So yeah.
And you were talking about that Deathbringer. Is this him?
Yeah, so that's heavily on Richard Gray. I joined his Patreon a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, basically just to kind of work on my non-metallics, to try and get a little bit better, because it was something that I wasn't too happy with. So that's really heavily influenced on his kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, his one is incredible. So that's a pale imitation on his stuff.
Give yourself some credit, dude. This is really good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really enjoyed it, and that, like, his kind of way of like scratch painting on some of the stuff and kind of not being as clean, I quite enjoyed it. But then at the same time, kind of afterwards, when I applied that technique to other models, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. That's what I was saying about painting the way you enjoy. So, yeah, that's probably one of the best I've painted just now. But at the same time, always like a little asterisk to say, well, actually, I've just copied it.
So it's the most serious form of flattery, but like, you mentioned something around the same lines earlier. It's not about the results; it's about the journey getting the results. And you during the journey, you pick up a whole lot of stuff that, when you're really trying to apply yourself to emulate something, you're going to pick up a whole bunch of important lessons.
Yeah, well, that was kind of my thinking. I was like, I've kind of got to a stage where I'd learned what I could by myself, and I was like, if I want to improve or get kind of better, I need to learn from the guys that are at the top to kind of And it's helped. like I say, it's basically just copying his stuff to the best of my ability.
I haven't seen the original, but what you did on this is just fantastic.
The original is incredible, and when he paints, I'm like, you're looking at it, like, how can he even put that together? Like, it's okay when you're copying it, but when he's seeing that actual thing, it's like, yeah, it scared me a little bit. I was like, I am just small fry, and but it was it was really good. I quite enjoyed painting that as well. I hate painting backpacks. I think it's because it's the last thing I paint. so if I can avoid anything with a back.
I know how you feel in the backpacks thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think and sometimes guns, but backpacks are definitely just, soul destroying.
I've one thing about my own process that I've done is like, I'll usually do the backpacks first before I do the arms, just so I can get those out of the way. That way, when the arms are done, I'm like, oh wow, I don't have to deal with the backpacks now. I'm good.
Yeah, I would actually pay somebody to paint my backpacks just so I didn't have to bother. I just, so going for the Age of Sigma stuff, because they don't have that kind of stuff, that's always a win for me. So
this Farseer is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Warlock, not Farseer.
Yeah, that was the one. I really need to paint more of those because I really enjoyed that one as well, and that was kind of my first attempt at kind of golds and glazing a little bit. It's still kind of rough, but I kind of that's just a great model, and I kind of really wanted to do it justice because it's such a cool pose.
I think I've actually got him.
Yeah, I think he was quite cheap because I think they released a load not that long ago.
Oh no, I got mine when I was a teenager, so he was only like $3.
Oh yeah, oh nice one. I wasn't so fortunate, but I think GW released a load recently of the Farseers from that, so I got him quite cheap. I think I've got a few that I haven't had a chance to paint, but I don't kind of like the newer stuff, the elder stuff, because they seem a bit scrawny, but yeah, the Farseers or the Warlocks are.
Well, like I talked to I was talking to Dave Perry and Mark Gibbons about this, like with. So Jess Goodwin sculpted this, and Jess Goodwin did. I think he did the bulk of the Eldar line, and in second edition. Actually, I think he did all of the stuff in second edition. But it's really amazing how his Space Marines and his Eldar hold up so well to this day. That with the Eldar, I think all the new X arches that they resculpted that were based on Jess's sculpts. Dude, they're like just basically like HD remakes of their exact model. Like it's like they just can't get away from that level of perfection. It's like if you change it too much, nobody's gonna like it. If you do it exactly like it, it's a replica, and you're stuck in this I feel bad for the sculptors because they're stuck in this small little niche of like, okay, we can't play with this too much because what Jess Good was just like is just timeless and untouchable.
yeah, you definitely nailed them. They're just awesome. So it's a really cool sculpt.
Every time I bring up an Eldar and somebody's in these podcasts, I'm just like, man, I gotta strip the 2 or 3 Eldar that I've still got from I've got this guy, I've got one of the old Howling Banshees, and I've got a Farseer, and I'm just like, they're painted from when I was a kid, and I'm like, I want to keep these as painted as a kid, but also I want to strip them and repaint them because every time I look at one, I'm like, the pinnacle of showing your painting skills seems to be people doing Eldar. So I'm like, I just need to get off my butt and just do it.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's cool. You got the in progress shots of your. Oh, I saw you post this. I think I saw. Did you post this on Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't. No, I sometimes I post, but it's normally the older stuff on Facebook because I'm part of an old. But I don't think.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, so that's the beast with the phallic looking whip. I had to change the head on that.
Oh, okay.
It was purple, and then I realised what it looked like. So now it's a bone. So that's hopefully my entry into Old and Demon, or it is for now.
I was looking at this before we started. I was looking at this earlier before we started this, a couple hours before we started the show. I thought this was just really cool. I like how just super bling he is. Yeah.
I really enjoyed painting him. He was awesome. Although he's quite tough with the fur, because that fur, the way it's sculpted, there's no real kind of way to make it look good.
That's old fur, man.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just love that. The overly comical hand and the head that's a little bit too big, and that for me is like a perfect old style model, where the kind of proportions are cartoony, but it's still.
Oh, that was some of the charm of those old minis. The hands and the weapons and the heads were always kind of big.
Yeah, definitely, and it works.
Yeah.
So I just love. Yeah.
Yeah, I look at some of the Imperial Guard and Sisters of Battle model. I can't say that. Sisters of Battle models. There we go. Of current times, and like, dude, their hands are so dainty and tiny. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, just give these women massive hands.
Yeah,
that's what we need. Bring back massive hands. Yeah,
that and weapons.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, and this probably. That's the Beastmaster you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's another Beastmaster. Yeah. I went mental there. Just stripy trousers, leopard skin. That's how I want to look when I get older. If I end up looking like that,
do a cosplay of him when you're like 50.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have that hair when I get. You never know. I'll try my best, but I was just a mad model that I loved. And I said as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm going to give him a proper go and just go mad with kind of every pattern that I could think of.
And the one last one I wanted to bring up was this guy.
Yeah. So that is
so good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really enjoyed painting that. That was from Magnus. He did one very similar. So I that was the first time I joined the Patreon, which I would recommend. Like if you're in want to get better, Patreon's been really good. And
I've got to finish setting mine up.
Yeah. I was a little bit skeptical at first because you're never too sure how good they're going to be, but just for the advice and the feedback. And the whole thing on this was just trying to work out how light hit models and how these guys that do it professionally, how they work out.
Mm-hmm.
And before this one, I always felt like I was doing something not quite right.
Mm-hmm.
So just following that tutorial kind of really helped. And then always try and steer away so it's not a complete copy, but it's if you look at his, you can see that a lot of the gold placings are bang on. They're more or less the same as his. I think the only thing I changed was the shoes. I made them more look like sneakers, but that's about it. But, I loved it. They're quite small and quite quick to paint as well, so it was nice to get back to dwarfs.
I saw in the description you said you were thinking about entering that in the Squidmar Open. Did you enter them?
Yeah. So the Squidmar, I think I got commended for that.
Oh, cool! Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I got a bronze for the squad, but the squad was like a throw together thing because
which squad? This one?
I put those ones. So I just put them in last minute because I was like, I don't have a squad. So that's the closest squad I've got.
Very cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. So I was really chuffed because I chanced my luck at MPO earlier in last year, the start. So I kind of realized that you actually have to be a little bit more kind of professional when you come to these things and take them a bit more seriously. But like I say, I haven't got a proper setup yet, like a camera or the lighting. So I'm still trying to work that bit out. But I was quite chuffed with
if you want help with Black Templars, one of the guys I had on the show, Luke Learns to Paint, that guy does some of the most amazing Black Templars you will ever see.
Yeah, I think his captain, the Marshal with the thing, I think I used his as a reference.
Oh, okay.
I think in fact my cape is basically what he did.
Oh, okay.
Because his is incredible.
Yeah, Luke. I mean, he's just. I'm not big on Black Templars, but the stuff that he cranks out, God, is he good?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, I was the same. It's just because I like the kind of aesthetic from them, but you paint black a couple of times, I need to move on. I need to try something else.
That's the one color that I really need to get a handle on, because the way I do blacks is just I like to do my Space Marine fingers in black. blackish, bright highlights. But I haven't tried doing an all black model.
It's difficult because you have to kind of use another color to complement it. But then if you go too gray, it becomes dull, and if you go too blue, it's difficult to kind of get the balance.
I've really been hung up on using. I really like using cool grays.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I've seen a few tutorials about like using like actually like blue gray colors, like I don't know what they call it with Fenrisian. I don't know what the Citadel version is, but the old Citadel color, blue gray, and then like working up to old Space Wolves gray. And I tried it a few times and I can't pull it off, but the actual grays that I have, I like to work in cool grays, and it makes me happy. But at the same time, I don't really paint anything that's all completely black. I need to try it and get out of my comfort zone. To wrap the episode up, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
I don't know. I better shout out to my wife and thank her for not leaving me. There's a few, like I say, I would recommend that Rambling Longbeard. His Medium articles, the guy they're really, like, he's done a load. It's not just the dwarfs, he's done, I think he did one recently on wood elves, and basically he just talks through the history of the stuff and highlights some of the models and that. So he's been really good. But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, I've my last guest didn't leave a mystery question. He forgot to get back to me on that. But I came up with a mystery question for you, and I modified it during the show because you mentioned something. So the mystery question is, what was your favorite cartoon as a kid or a teenager?
Oh, my favorite cartoon.
Because you mentioned Ninja Turtles.
The Ninja Turtles were big. I was big on Ninja Turtles. So there's two I can think of, but the one I don't think really did well in the States, and it was Bucky O'Hare. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Oh, yeah, they had it here. We got a video game based on that.
Oh, did you? Yeah, the Space Rabbit. Yeah, I was really big on him. And the real Ghostbusters were my kind of jam. I never really got into Transformers or any of that, but the real Ghostbusters and Bucky O'Hare were my two big ones.
I used to love the real Ghostbusters. That was a cool show.
Yeah, I've actually watched a thing not that long ago about them, about how like the cartoon in itself, like the weird history of it, and how there was like a Ghostbuster cartoon.
I actually saw that the other Ghostbusters one. Yeah. That was a pretty cool one too.
Oh, was it? Yeah, the Scooby-Doo type mystery hunters thing, was it? Yeah. But yeah, it was quite interesting. And I also heard that Ernie Hudson, who did the voice, was auditioned for the real Ghostbusters and didn't get it. The cartoon.
It's like, come on, he played him in the movie.
Yeah, so he played him in the movie, auditioned, and he didn't get the role. It's like, what is going on? But yeah, so there's a bit of useless information about the real Ghostbusters.
It's funny, they're probably kicking themselves because he went on to have a really prevalent and awesome career.
Yeah. So mad.
Have you seen the newer Ghostbusters movie? Not the all woman one, because that one was terrible. It was just bad. But the actual reboot, not really the true continuation.
Yeah, the one with Paul Rudd. So I think I saw the first one. Has there been two?
There's two.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the second one, but I definitely saw the first one. The
second one was pretty good. Like I don't want to ruin anything for you, but it's kind of like Ghostbusters are back in full swing, and like Ernie Hudson's character plays a major role in the Ghostbusters now.
Oh, nice one.
Like he's not necessarily part of the team, but he plays a good role in keeping it going.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So he's not like a cameo.
Yeah.
It's more of a.
I was actually really happy with at the end of the first one, the send off that they gave to Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis, yeah.
Like I'm glad they didn't like CG him talking and like try to get like a voice actor, make snippets of his voice from another movie. I just liked that he was there, and it was just kind of like honoring him, and the guys came back, and I cracked up when it was Gozer that came back, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And Gozer's like, "Are you a god?" And Bill Murray's like, "Yeah." The playback to throw back to the first film. Ray, when somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yeah. Oh, Bill Murray, he's so good.
Dude, I named one of my songs from my second album. I named it after a Ghostbusters reference. The song's called Destructor, and I specifically named it after Gozer saying "Choose your destructor." And actually, one of the lines in the chorus is "Choose your destructor and choose your demon" or something. I hated that song. I wish we never made it. It was just terrible. But yeah, it was. So yeah, the first line of the chorus is "Choose your destructor," and the name of the song was Destructor, and it came directly from Ghostbusters.
Oh, nice one, man. Oh, cool. Oh man, I love that film. My son loves it too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Ghostbusters again.
Oh, it was. I want to say it was back in like 13 or 14, I think. They did around Christmas, around Halloween. They did a special showing of the first Ghostbusters in theaters again. And a friend of mine and we went to go see it. I was just like, this is so cool. I get to see the first Ghostbusters in theaters because I never saw the first one in theaters when I was a kid. I only saw the second one.
Yeah, I think I might be the same. The second one kind of sticks out more to me for some reason. I think it was because it's a river of ooze.
Oh,
that's always stuck in my head and then the
slime. It's a river of slime.
Yeah, and then that Lady Liberty walking on there. Good times. But yeah, man. So those were my cartoons.
I love that line. Was it the? Yeah, it was from the second movie. Bill Murray's like, "Well, I'm a voter. Are you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?" I had completely forgotten about that line, and it came up something on YouTube. I was like, "Oh my god, that line's amazing."
I know. So good, man. Oh man, Ghostbusters. Awesome.
I mean, the sheer amount of ad-libbing that a lot of them did in that movie was just nuts. Like, especially Bill Murray. I mean, he ad-libbed like I think a good 80% of his lines from what I remember.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah.
Like he had to memorize the stuff that kept the plot going, but like a lot of the jokes, he was just ad-libbing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's so good.
So I'm gonna shut the show down. Stick around for a second. I'll talk to you after we're done. But thank you very much for coming on the show. It was nice to talk to a Scotsman.
Anytime, man. Anytime. I just hope you understand me. No, thanks for inviting me on. It's been awesome.
Oh, Scottish accent is one of my favorite things to do. Just especially like when I'm drunk.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Because it's natural.
Well.
All right, hang on for a second. I'm going to finish this up. So, guys, thanks for watching. Here's a couple more videos. I am going to Golden Demon next week. And, yeah, thank you guys for checking out the show. And I hope you guys liked it. I'll talk to you in a bit.